Don't ever let anyone tell you that just because you see something you don't like in your physical reality, in your reflection, okay? Just because you see something that you don't like does not mean you're doing something wrong, does not mean that it's coming, that what you want is coming. It does not mean anything until you say it means something. If you watched my last video or a couple videos ago, right, when people say, how do I handle the 3D after I decided what I want? How do you handle your thoughts? Because your 3D and your imagination are one. It's only you separating them and saying that's the 3D and then the manifested reality. And then what I have in my imagination is different. It's like a waiting room waiting for it to be pushed out. This is separation. There's no difference between anything. It's all the same thing, because what that means is you are reality, that you're just constantly looking at yourself. So when you have dreams at night and you have thoughts during the day that you don't like, you had a nightmare and you're just like, ugh, like, so glad that was just a nightmare. Unless you start sitting there saying, it must be a sign. Okay, if you have a dream that you don't like, if you have a thought you don't like, it doesn't mean you're going to follow it. It doesn't mean you're going to actually do it. Like when I lived in San Diego, we had all these bridges, like not a lot, but we had these bridges that would go, around. And they were really high and like go around. But anyway, and like the Coronado Bridge and stuff. And I'd be like, oh my God, I could totally turn my car and just into the ocean. I'm like, but I'm not going to do it. It was just a thought. And I was just like, ugh, I'm not, no. That's not me. That's not what I want. That's no different than anything else. They're just thoughts. So if you see something in your experience, remember that what you see in your experience, what you call your 3D, that's no different than having an unwanted thought. You're just like, yeah, no thanks. I'm good. It doesn't matter. And somebody made a comment, they're like, well, it needs to be practical. Like, what about when someone has to pay for rent or something? And I'm like, look, if you want to live in the practical world, this is not going to work for you. Because if you want to do any kind of conscious manifesting, right? You're always manifesting, but now what the manifesting community is talking about is conscious manifesting, okay? Meaning you are actually aware that you are the only one doing it, that you're the cause of it. There's no practicality. In fact, anything with you being source is illogical to the linear thinking mind. It makes absolutely no sense. So if you're looking for logic and practicality, it doesn't, and then you have a deadline to pay rent and all this kind of crap. And I'm like, look, if you want practicality, this is why you are probably stuck. Because everything is here and now. Want to talk about the most unpractical thing? Okay, even though Albert Einstein already talked about this, time is relative, right? But I'm gonna just entertain you for a second. There's no time. There's no past and no future. So if there's no future, there's no on the 15th, on the 30th, on the 1st. There was no back when I did that, back when I paid that. It's all happening right now. So there's no practicality in that, because it's all here and now. So that's why knowing yourself as source, God is omnipresent, omnipotent. It's everywhere all at once. That's you. It's always here and now. It's never in the future. It's never in the past. It's always happening here and now. So there is no logic. And so trying to explain something that is illogical with few words. And then I watched somebody said, like, isn't it interesting that all these coaches, they're not actually teaching you how to manifest, because you already know. You already know. You've been manifesting your whole life. You're just becoming aware that you've always been doing it. How? By being aware and assuming yourself, assuming that something is true. You've done it your whole life, I guarantee you. You've assumed that someone was going to talk shit about you, and then you found out that they did. You assumed someone was about to call you. You assumed that you wouldn't get a parking space. You assumed that you weren't going to find what you wanted. You assumed that you would find what you wanted. You assumed that someone was cheating on you. You assumed that someone wouldn't talk to you. You assumed that as soon as you walked by somebody on the street that they were going to side-eye you. You assume all kinds of shit your whole life. And now you're aware that you can assume anything you want. Anything. Anything. Because it's all you. You are reality. There's no division. There's no separation. Like I said in my last video, start clocking separation. When you hear it in your own thoughts, when you hear it in someone else speaking, it's all you. It's all you. You are reality. There is no out there in here. It's the same thing. So you are constantly choosing and assuming and labeling what's happening on the fly, right here, right now.